Hi YouTube, in this video I'm going to be showing you all of the stuff you're going to need to bookbind. Again, all of the stuff is going to be in my link tree in my Amazon storefront, so if you want to buy any of these, that is where you can go. Starting off with the essentials, you are going to need some sort of PVA glue. It's pH neutral, it's perfect for books, so you're going to be using that for literally everything. This is a book that I have yet to bind into the actual hardcover. For the glue, you're going to actually use it for the actual book cloth. You're going to be using it for end papers, literally everything. So glue is an essential. A box cutter. You're going to need a box cutter because you're going to need to cut all of your end papers, and when I say end papers, I mean the papers that go on the inside of the book, that when you open your cover, that's what you're looking at. This is end papers. So the box cutters are also going to be used to cut all of your book board, which is this. This is the board that you actually use to create your hardcover. So that is another thing you're going to need is book board, but that is what you're going to use your box cutter for. Another thing that I like to use, it's not essential, is a silicone brush. Mine has glue all over it, but I don't want to waste my glue, and so a silicone brush is awesome because it doesn't have bristles and you use all of the glue that you put onto the board and all of the end pieces and everything. So I use a silicone brush. Another really important thing that I use, I guess it's not necessarily essential, but you'll see in the videos why I like to use it. It's a bone folder. This is how you are going to get your cut creases for the hardcover of your book. These creases were made because of this bone folder. It is also very nice to use because you can use it to press all of the glue, extra glue out of all of your paper. So that's why I love to use it, but again, you don't necessarily need it as long as you can press everything that you need. Another essential thing is going to be this cloth. It is like cheesecloth. Again, it's linked in my Amazon storefront, but you are going to use it to bind your spine to your hardcover. Again, you'll see in part 2 of my video, I use it to bind the spine, and it just allows the actual text block to bind to this hardcover back very easily. It gives it something to grip onto. Another thing you might not necessarily need, but you might want is ribbon. You might want ribbon for a bookmark. You don't necessarily need it, like I said, but you might want it. Another thing that you actually will need are book ends. So these go at the top of the book. So you'll see this white little piece of fabric. That is a bookend. So these bookends are all different colors. Again, they come in packs, so they're pretty awesome, and you can cut them to the size that you need. But if you're making a hardcover, you're gonna need them because that's how hardcover books are made. Another must-have is parchment paper. I use the parchment paper to put in between pages so that it doesn't glue pages down that I don't want. Again, you don't necessarily need it if you use something else in replacement of this, but it's cheap and really important to not glue other pages down. So, very, very useful. Another thing I use is a really long ruler. It's just nice for cutting. It's nice because my smaller one, I don't know, it's just really nice to have a really big one. And this one's nice because it has like a sticky side to it, so it's a lot easier to use. So it came in a pack of 3. There was a 6-inch one, 12-inch, and then this 24-inch one. Another thing I use is a cutting board. Well, not a cutting board, it's a cutting mat. So I use a cutting mat. You are definitely going to need one if you're going to be using a box cutter. But yeah, you can get any one, it doesn't matter. Another thing is going to be a book press. And I've seen people make these before. You can totally do that. You can totally just buy pieces of wood and then like press them together with clamps. That's totally fine. I was lazy and I actually bought it. You can see all of the spray paint I have from Spray Painting Edges. This is my Edges one. I have a dirty one and a clean one for when I'm pressing like my bind that's fully put together because I don't want to get it dirty. So I have two. You don't need two. You at least need to make or buy one so you can press your books. The last thing you're gonna need is a Cricut, the most expensive thing. That is how I cut all of my designs and how I heat press them onto my books. So vinyl is tricky. Depending on the type of vinyl you use, this is really easy to use. It's just a simple color. It doesn't burn easily, but I also use a gold foil heat transfer vinyl, and that burns very easily. So you have to learn each vinyl and what is going to work for you. So like I said, a Cricut and a Cricut heat press is going to be essential for making your own designs and books. That is it. That is all the things that I use. Again, if you were looking for all of these materials, they're on my Amazon storefront in my link tree. If you have any questions, definitely drop them below. And yeah, thank you for watching. If this was helpful, definitely like and subscribe.